back with another action-packed session. Today, we're going to be talking about how to buy and flip rental properties like a pro. And a big part of that is analyzing your deals, running your numbers. If you don't know how to run your numbers, you're going to get stuck at the end of the day. You're not going to have the confidence to pull the trigger. If you're new to the channel, like, comment, subscribe. Leave a comment that says, I subscribe. For everyone who leaves that comment, I'm going to send you instant access to one of my free real estate trainings. It's going to show you how to acquire properties for pennies on the dollar all across the country. You don't want to miss out on that free offer. DM me cash flow as well. If you want to get your hands on those free trainings and you're on IG, just DM me cash flow and me and my team will send it right over to you guys. We're going to get into some mindset today. If you are interested in any of our programs, the Boots on the Ground program, that's where we find, finance, rehab, tenant, and manage properties for you. DM me Boots on the Ground. We'll get you guys tapped into that. And then we have the ride along. Real estate ride along is coming up on August 31st. That's a Saturday. You're going to spend a day with me in the Philadelphia area touring properties. We're probably going to see, I'll try to get you guys in almost 20 properties, but it's hard to do that on a tour. We can probably see about 10 to 15 in a day. And that's starting at like 7:30 in the morning, going to like 6 p.m. At night. So if you guys are interested in that, definitely reach out. Let's dive into this. If you have questions, comments, drop them in the chat section, drop them in the comment section. We'll kind of flow through this thing. I want to hit you guys off with 3 points today. We're going to talk about some of the things I look at when I'm analyzing rental properties in particular. Let me get back in there. When I'm analyzing my rental properties, we're going to look into that. We're also going to look at a appraisal. So understanding how to evaluate appraisals is huge in this game. So I'm going to walk you guys through an appraisal very quickly and show you the hot spots of the appraisal and how these appraisers think. Knowing how appraisers think can take you to the next level. It allows you to scale to the next level because it gives you the confidence to evaluate your deals. And in terms of reps, you guys should be getting a lot of reps. You should be going on Redfin multiple times per week. You should be at least analyzing one property a day if you want to get good at this. If you do that for 30 days, you'll get really good. Let's get into the mindset. The mindset for today is winter is coming, guys. Winter is coming. And by that, I mean rates are about to fall. A lot of the things we've been talking about, interest rates going down, prices going up, inventory coming back to the market. I'm seeing a lot of inventory hitting again. The auctions, the sheriff sales are kind of back. There's a lot of value there. There's just a lot going on in the market right now. If you're sitting on the sidelines, you're probably going to miss out on big opportunities that are coming your way over the next 6 to 12 months. This is going to be game change territory for a lot of you. This is going to be the difference for those who are prepared, for those who are following interest rate movements and seeing where the market's headed. You're going to be able to probably acquire anywhere from 10 to 20 properties within a 1 to 2 year period if you're locked in. If you're not locked in, you're probably going to get left behind. This is going to be like that breaker moment, like the straw that broke the camel's back. You're just going to get left behind. But for those who are truly tapped in, this is your window of opportunity, because the market, when these changes happen, a lot of people are asleep. A lot of people aren't watching where rates are right now. A lot of you might not even know where 30-year mortgage rates are right now because you're not paying attention. The market has rocked you to sleep. So this is the opportunity for those who are still active, who are still looking daily, to come in and grab opportunities and take advantage of the market share before the market starts to fluctuate, before the news starts to come out, before rates actually adjust and prices start to go back up. So make sure you guys stay locked in. Let's get into some of the analysis here. So if you're a new real estate investor, you're probably struggling with a lot of things, right? Trying to find profitable deals. You want to find, good tenants. And how do you screen tenants? How do you run your comps, know your ARVs? How do you manage contractors? How do you build rehab budgets? How do you connect with lenders, like the 100% lenders that we connect you guys with in the Boots on the Ground program and in our Inner Circle mentorship program? If you're struggling with all those things, you can always reach out and DM me. DM me cash flow. DM me Boots on the Ground. You can get your hands on our stress test tool as well. The Boots on the Ground program, I'll say, is like that easy button. If you're in a priced out market like California, or you're in New York and you're like, hey, this market is way too expensive. There's no cash flow here. Can I tap in and invest in an out-of-state city, one of the top 10 cash flow cities? The best to me of the top 10 cash flow cities, Philly's number one, Baltimore's number two, because it's just not as developed as Philly yet, but it's a strong number two. And then you have Cleveland, like those types of markets are in that number three spot. There's a couple that I would put in that number three spot. But if you want to tap into Philly, and we're in the process of launching Baltimore right now, I actually have some boots on the ground. I haven't even told anybody this. I have some boots on the ground in Baltimore right now who's able to look at properties for us. So I'm going to start to unroll different opportunities in Baltimore very soon. We already have the contractors, all the other things set up, architects, engineers, all that stuff, lenders. But we now have boots on the ground, eyes and ears, who can go bird dog some deals for us. So that's a major game changer. And it's going to allow some of us who are tapped into the boots on the ground program, especially, to start to see that marketplace and what's going on there. So don't be surprised if you get beat over the head with a Baltimore deal really soon. But if you want to hit that easy button, just DM me Boots on the Ground to learn more about our Boots on the Ground program, if you're not in. And that program is extremely limited in terms of access. So we only have, I think, 2 spots open right now, and then it's just going to be full. And you have to wait for somebody to kind of tap out before you can tap in. Here's the things you need to do to analyze deals like a pro. Number one, you need an investor tool. If you're a new investor, you better have a deal analysis tool. The reason why you need a deal analysis tool as a new investor is because you don't know enough yet. You haven't gotten your reps in yet. You haven't seen enough comps yet. You haven't dealt with appraisers yet. You need a tool that another investor has battle tested, has taken, looked at the market, kind of pre-programmed and said, these are the factors that you need to be able to evaluate to be able to tell if a deal is good or bad, because that's half of the battle, right? If you just wake up and look at the market and you have no idea if a deal is good or bad, how could you have the confidence to go bid on it? What offer do you put out? What's it worth? You're really kind of lost. So having an investor tool when you're just getting started, what it's going to do is it's going to speed up your process. It's going to make you a little bit faster than the current version of yourself. All you have to be realistically is 1% to 2% faster than you are right now on your analysis, because most people, 90% of investors, are like you. They haven't really studied. They haven't been in a mentorship program. They don't have enough experience. So it takes them on analysis maybe at least half a day, maybe a day, to analyze a deal, to build up confidence, to put out an offer. If you can have a tool that you can lean on that takes that 1 day or 2 day analysis down to 5-10 minutes, you can now get almost as fast as a pro, as somebody who's done like 100 deals. And getting faster than the competition allows you to get to the deal faster. You guys have no clue how many deals I've gotten to 5-10 minutes faster than another investor and put it under contract, or a day before another investor put it under contract. Deal hits the market today. By tomorrow, the market's awake. They're coming out. They're trying to put in blind offers. I've already gotten the deal, already got it signed, already put in my earnest money deposit, because I'm faster than the market. Speed in this game kills. And that's why you need to get practice and get better at your deal analysis, because it's just going to make you faster. Even if you're less accurate, your accuracy will improve over the course of time. You can lean on things like in this visual. And if you guys are on IG, we're on our YouTube channel, Brian Loves Cashflow on YouTube. You can go to YouTube, type in Brian Loves Cashflow, and you can join us on the YouTube live. But this is a visual of our deal analysis tool. You can DM me stress test toolkit, and I'll send this over to you. But what this does is it allows you to analyze a deal in about 60 seconds. You only need to know the ARV. And I'm going to show you guys kind of how we run comps, or talk about at least some of the factors you need to think about. And then we're going to walk through an appraisal to show you kind of how appraisers are evaluating properties. And that'll help you to get better at running your comps. And I run all of my comps on free websites like Redfin. You don't need to pay for MLS access to be able to run comps. You can just run your comps right on Redfin. But this is a visual of our deal analysis toolkit. And on the right, you can see at the top right is a flip, and it's showing you kind of the profitability of a flip. And then at the bottom, it says refinance, and that's showing you the cash flow on a deal. Will this property cash flow? Is this a good buy and hold? Can I do a burst strategy? So being able to tell very quickly, hey, this is a buy and hold. This is a buy and flip. Here's the opportunities. Here's how it'll shake out. Here's what the costs are going to be. Here's what the rehab is generally going to look like. It's going to make you much faster. And it's going to give you a bit of I guess a bit of like a little bit of ground to stand on to a degree. Like when you're new, kind of scared, kind of nervous, kind of freaked out the entire time at the end of the day, you need something that you can kind of stand on. So if you need that tool, reach out, DM me stress test toolkit, and I'll send it right over. I'm just going to send you a link to it and you can tap right in. The second thing you need when you're analyzing deals, you need multiple exit strategies. Never get into a deal until you analyze it from multiple angles. So I'm constantly doing this within our Boots on the Ground program. When I'm sending out deals to our members, I'm always screening these deals for multiple exit strategies, like Section 8. What's the Section 8 rent going to be? Can I add more bed and bathrooms to the property? And how is that going to impact the Section 8 rent? Because the Section 8 is kind of like my guaranteed rent. The government's going to pay a large portion of it. They publicly advertise their rents. So I'm going to kind of look there. The second thing I'm going to look at are room rentals. What's the room rent going to be if I rent it by the bedroom? Because that gives me a bit of a safety net. Even if I get in a deal and I'm a little over my head, if I room rent it, I can usually create a premium just by splitting the rent from one rent to like 3 different rents. I can create a premium by doing that. So it gives me a little bit of a safety net. I'm going to look at co-living, which is kind of taking room rentals to the next level. So I'm going to look at that strategy as well. And then I'm going to look at market rents. What will the market rent for? Market rents are going to show you speed. Co-living is pretty fast on the tenanting, but there's a specialty to it. At the end of the day, you have to know what you're doing in terms of specialization. Like, how do you market a property as co-living? How do you educate somebody on what co-living is? Most people have never heard of it, which means most tenants have never heard of it. So you have to be able to educate a tenant on what co-living is and why it can be a good opportunity for them. But market rentals are fast. If somebody has cash, you can give them the keys. You can get them to sign a lease. You can move them in today if they're ready. So it's much faster than something like Section 8. Section 8, you have to go through an inspection process. Even though you're getting that guaranteed money, it's going to move 30, 45 days slower than the market, but you're trading speed for guarantees in that sense. So always look at these multiple exit strategies. And then you're going to look, of course, at like, can I flip it? If all goes to hell, can I flip this deal and just kind of get my money out of it and move on to the next deal? So even if I'm going to buy and flip a property, I'm still going to analyze it on these multiple exit strategies. What if I can't flip it? Can I rent it out? Can I room rent it? Can I do co-living? What will the market rent be? Can I Section 8 it? I'm always looking at multiple exit strategies because that's going to make the deal substantially safer, or it's going to show you a way to cash flow the property that the average person is not thinking of. So if you can think outside of the box on a way to cash flow this property that somebody else isn't thinking of, now you can create a premium as well, and you can outbid them for the property and still make more money than them. So that's another wrinkle. Guys, if you have any questions, drop them in the chat section, drop them in the comment section, and we will get to some of your questions. And if you want to get access to some of our free real estate trainings, just DM me cash flow. If you want to learn about Boots on the Ground, DM me Boots on the Ground. And if you want that stress test toolkit, our deal analysis toolkit, if you don't know if a deal is good or bad and you need that toolkit, just DM me stress test toolkit. We'll send it right over. Third, you need to learn how to run your comps. Let me blow this up on the YouTube channel. You need to learn how to run your comps. One thing that you can do to learn how to run comps better is review copies of appraisals. And we're going to do that in just a second. And I'm going to try to spin you guys around on IG so you can see the appraisal. Number 2, practice daily for at least a month. Wake up every day, find a property that's on the MLS, that's on Redfin, and just pull comps on it. Just say, hey, I don't know what it's worth. Let me try to comp it out and see what it's worth. If you're in something like our Inner Circle program, our mentorship program, you can always try to run comps and then reach out. Hey, do you think I'm right on this valuation? And we can confirm it for you. And number 3, understand the difference between valuing a buy and flip versus a buy and hold deal. this is kind of one of the nuances of real estate investing. If you're flipping a property, you have to pull your comps a lot tighter. You have to pull your comps from like 2 blocks away, 3 blocks away, maybe 4, not more than 8 in almost like any situation, unless it's a multifamily and there aren't a lot of multifamilies on the market at the time or that have sold within that zip code. So if you're doing single family flips, you got to pull those comps really tight. If you're doing a buy and hold, you can go up to half a mile. And I've seen appraisers go up to a mile for a buy and hold deal. So you can get a lot more, what I would call like frisky with your analysis on the buy and hold side. You can kind of buy into trends and say, well, the market is kind of trending in this direction. So I'm buying a little bit north of the higher comps, but they're going to build into me because there's cheaper properties here. You can kind of play a longer term game because an appraiser is going to come in and they're going to pull comps from much further away on a buy and hold deal, on a BRRRR strategy deal, than they will on a flip. On a flip, even, I would say you're not really playing what I would call the appraiser game. You're not pulling comps to see what an appraiser would value this deal at. You're pulling comps to see what an unsophisticated buyer would be willing to pay. So you have to be able to convince somebody who's not sophisticated that, hey, that property a block away sold for $320 and it's the same bed bath count and square footage. This one's worth $320. It has to be that rudimentary in terms of analysis so that the buyer actually buys into it and says, okay, I can see that. Yeah, this is worth $320. I'm confident there. So just know that difference. You might see different valuations on a buy and flip versus a buy and hold deal, even if it's the same deal and you're looking at it from multiple angles. It's going to be a little bit different. You also have to put more of an investment, more rehab into your flip deals. So the corners that you can cut on your buy and hold and still get a high valuation, you can't cut those corners on the flip because now you're going against the market. So if you cut those corners, the buyer's just not going to buy the property. You're going to sit on the market and have to drop your price. Let me try to get us into this appraisal. Guys, if you have any questions, drop them in the chat section. We'll swing over to it. We're almost bumping up on 20 minutes. I want to pull up this appraisal for us because a lot of us, realistically, if you've never done a deal before and you're watching this, you've never seen an appraisal. At the end of the day, you've never seen one. And you need to understand what goes into some of these appraisals so that you don't get surprised when the time comes around. Let me see if I can find this thing. Let me get into one question. Oh, Jim said we want to stress test. Jim, you got to DM me or shoot me an email if you want that stress test toolkit. However you got here, just email me, text me, DM me, and we'll send it over. Let me block this. Screen share. Let me try one more time. That is not working. Let me flip up. I don't think I can do it for my YouTubers. We're going to have to do it on the next session for the appraisal. We'll probably do the next week. We'll do a full session on just appraisals because I want to walk you guys through how these appraisals work and how you guys can get ahead of the game there by understanding that. Here we have a question. Hey, Brian, if a property has asbestos, do you pass on it or would you still rehab it? I would actually still rehab a property with asbestos, but to varying degrees, right? So on a row home, where are you going to find the asbestos? You're going to find it in the plumbing stack. So if you go in the basement, if it's an older property, they used to insulate the plumbing in the basement with a wrap that has asbestos in it. And we know what it looks like. It's in like the glue that's in the wrap. So what we would do is go in, wet it. You got a hazmat, put on a hazmat suit, like really do it the right way, and then cut out the pipes. You can't really disturb everything. So you just have to cut the pipes out, get it out of the property, bag it, tag it, and not disturb it. So I wouldn't necessarily not do it. But if you're getting into like a commercial deal, I've seen this in evaluating like bigger deals where it's like, I'm going to buy this old warehouse, blow it up, and demo it down and convert it into something. That might that's something that I would typically avoid, because the cost to remediate it is obnoxiously high. It's obnoxiously high. As you get into commercial deals, you start having to deal with the union, or they're going to put like one of those big blow up rats outside of your project, and the EPA is on your back. Like you're at a different level of scrutiny versus just doing like residential single family, like 1 to 4 unit deals. So as you get more commercial, your rehabs have to change naturally. And to me, I like to avoid some of those big ticket things that are just going to slow you down. So I would say avoid it in general, unless you have experience with it or you have contractors who are experienced with it and you can navigate it easily. I have contractors that are experienced with it, so I can navigate it. I would never attempt to do it myself. I will only let some of my experienced guys do it. Somebody said, I'm 16 and have been learning about real estate the past few weeks, but I want to find a way to start now and make some money. I would say if you're that young, just keep learning. Don't worry about making money in this game because you're so early in this game. You just need to keep learning and pick a strategy. I would probably, if I was 16, start with like wholesaling, something I can do really passively with very little capital, and just kind of take your time with it. You have a very long horizon. Stay in that learning phase. Pick one strategy and master it. You only need to master one strategy in this game to get to the next level. So I would just pick one strategy, master it, and just kind of stick with it. What are the tenant landlord laws in Baltimore? Turnkey buy and hold properties are going for how much? I would say you could turnkey in Baltimore, maybe for like, let me think, Baltimore, maybe like 50K, 60K in certain areas. You could turnkey in Baltimore. Go in, like barely do any rehab, or just like paint, put down new flooring, something that would take you 2 to 3 weeks in terms of rehab to get tenant ready. The landlord tenant laws are very similar to Philly. They're not bad. They're not overly in your favor either. I would call them like well balanced. They're kind of split between the buyer and seller. And I like fair markets. I don't need it to be like a landlord. Well, Baltimore is kind of considered landlord friendly. So is Pennsylvania. If you look on like the list of friendly states for landlords, they're both there. Maryland and Pennsylvania are there, and then the cities within them will fall into that. So it is more landlord friendly, especially when being compared to like California, which is completely tenant friendly, or New York, which is completely, to me, tenant friendly. There's kind of nothing good there. That being said, you have to have your paperwork together. To me, it's all about paperwork. It's all about having your rental license, having your lead inspections, having your suitability certificates, having your paperwork together, being registered with your annual inspections and registration and the EPA. That's going to protect you when it comes time to evict, if you have to file an eviction. And then you just want to be in a state where it's fair. It doesn't need to be landlord friendly. It just needs to be fair. Fair means if you have your paperwork, you can evict. Usually within about 60 days to 70 days, you can get somebody out. And then you want to pull first month, last month, and security. And security. So 3 months rent for somebody to move in. You want to get those 3 months. Me. What about a property with foundation? Property with foundation issues. It just depends on your contractors through these issues. If you have incompetent contractors, you're going to run into foundation issues on some of these properties. They're 100 years old. They're built in 1915, 1920. You're going to see it. It's just a question of like, hey, we can chew right through this. No big deal. If they can't, then it's a little bit more problematic. So that is experiential. I would start off as a new investor by not dealing with structural issues, by screening for it. To it. Because it's going to scare off other investors. And I like having those things that'll scare off the other investors. Let me unplug one of these things and plug in another. So I like scaring off other investors with different projects that, they don't have any experience with. That's where you're going to make money at the end of the day. What about a property built with just bricks on the outside? I mean, I invest in row home cities, so most of the properties are brick built. Some of the brick built cities are like St. Louis, Cleveland, Philly, Baltimore, a lot of New Jersey, a lot of New York. It's just a style of house. I mean, brick built is usually stronger than, kind of some of the wooden built properties that'll just have like the siding up. So I don't mind seeing, more of the brick built. Chicago also, I just saw Ardell. He's tapping in. He's from Chicago. Chicago's a great big brick built city, and also like a townhome type of row home city that has a lot of value. So I actually like that. If I see, hey, it's brick built, it's usually strong. You can repair all the structural issues for the most part. I like properties with basements because I can get down there during an inspection. And if you look up at the ceiling in the basement, you're going to see all the joist work, all the structural issues, all the plumbing, all the electric. You can pretty much see 90% of what you need to see just from the basement level, if this property is good or not. So I definitely like those types of properties. And the foundational issues do not scare me. I actually like it because if we can solve it, we're going to make more money. I'll go buy the house where the sidewall collapsed, the back of the house collapsed, the roof is caved in. None of that stuff really scares me at this point. But it did scare me when I was just getting started. It horrified me. But once you find the right crews, you're kind of in cruise control there. Hey, Brian, I've seen appraisals and I've run comps. I want to purchase a 4-unit as a house hack so I can get out of my 9-to-5 and get into the interior design business, my true passion versus research and design. Definitely. Buy a 4-unit, live in one, rent the others, live for free, follow your passion. It's really a simple move. And if you do that on your FHA, you're just putting down a 3.5%. You might get a multi-family by putting down like 10 grand or less. So a lot of you are running around with that. Or if you got the 10 grand in your 401k, I cashed out my 401k. I took that money, I bought another multi. That multi-family property I bought by cashing out my 401k appreciated it appreciated more. About 150,000 in 7 years, and it was cash flowing me $1,000 a month. It took $1,000 a month for 7 years, and then I sold it and popped up another 140 off of it. My 401k was not going to do that. I can tell you that much. I don't care what you're investing in. It wasn't going to do that. Try hold my hand wholesale one TikTok. Yeah, Ricardo said for the 16-year-old, definitely do some wholesaling and get your feet wet there, and then you'll get to the next level. Ardell said, so you'd buy the apartment buildings with the red X on them? Definitely. Yeah, the red X would mean license and inspection just came in and just shut the deal down, put a red tag on the door. The red tag could be, nothing serious. It could be a make safe violation. Hey, this property has violations on it. It's unsafe. It also could just be somebody was doing a deal without permits. So they just came and red tagged the door and shut them down. That's showing that somebody was inexperienced, or they had a crew that was inexperienced or unlicensed. But it doesn't necessarily say anything about the property itself. So yeah, when I see the red tag, I've bought those properties. I'll buy tear downs. I'll buy shells with the roof caved in, tree growing through the roof. As long as the numbers are right, the deal makes sense. Every deal could be a good deal if you can buy it cheap enough and there's enough rehab budget. You can solve everything with rehab to the point where, think about it, to the point where you could buy dirt and build all the way back up from the ground. So it's not a question of is this deal in too bad of shape? It's, are they trying to sell it for too much? And can I make money off of it? Is there a spread after I put the rehab in? Is it going to cost too much? Is the seller too greedy? If the seller's reasonable and I can make money, I'm in there. I'm going to go make that money. And sometimes the rougher looking deals, if you do your deal analysis and you know how to factor in the cost of construction on some of these structural things, that's where you make the most money. So this is kind of why I tell you guys, just start off small. Just get started. Get a couple deals going and learn the game. Don't worry about the money. That's why I'm telling the 16-year-old, don't worry about the money. Learn the game. Because if you learn how this game works and you learn construction and where to find value and how to add value to properties, you can make money for the rest of your life. It's the lack of fear that allows you to make money. It's understanding the cost of construction that allows you to make money. And understanding those things also allows you to analyze deals better than the people who are afraid. Because if I'm clear-headed and I know the costs and I'm not afraid, and you're clouded by fear, I can just come in and win those deals. Like I said, most people are like the current version of you. If you just look at yourself, most people are like the current version of a lot of you who are watching this right now. So you only have to get a little bit better than the current version of yourself to then eat everyone's lunch. You don't have to get 500% better. You need to get 5% better. That's good news. Just get 5% better. Samuel said, I wish I knew about real estate at 16. Me too. I wish I knew about real estate investing. I wish I was tapped into this channel at 16. My goodness, I probably would have never worked for anyone. Baby girl said, do you only utilize the BRRRR method? No, I don't only utilize the BRRRR method, but the BRRRR method is the best method. And with where interest rates are headed right now, the BRRRR method is going to dominate the market. It's been like kind of trashed on a little bit because of higher rates and because a lot of people are in priced out markets like California. So as rates went up, all the cash flow, what happened is like at low rates, 2-3% rates, 4% rates, everywhere cash flow. People were cash flowing in Utah. People were cash flowing in Arizona. People were cash flowing everywhere. Then as rates went way up, everybody's cash flow dried up except for the top 10 cash flow cities. Somebody said, how is Detroit? It's one of the top cities for cash flow as well. So except for the top cash flow cities, people kept cash flowing there, even at higher rates, because rents went up to offset higher rates. So the BRRRR strategy was getting trashed on kind of nationally because a lot of people, they couldn't do it anymore. They're like, oh, the BRRRR strategy is dead. The BRRRR strategy was never dead. It was just dead in California. It was just dead in Utah. So you have to go to the top 10 cash flow cities right now to get the cash flow. But what's about to happen is as rates go down, the top 10 cash flow cities are going to become insane. Insane. Like, you guys really don't have a clue as to how good and how easy this game is about to get. This game is going to get stupid easy. But you have to get started. You have to get a deal under your belt. You have to get a little bit of knowledge so that you can take advantage of it, so that you can go out and do 10 deals in 12 months or less, because that's going to get you out of the 9-to-5 essentially permanently if you do that. So that's kind of the game right now, is tapping into the BRRRR strategy, getting all the tax benefits and write-offs, all those losses, but then waiting as rates start to fall, which are going to start falling in like a month. You're going to just start getting more and more and more cash flow, and your assets are going to appreciate more and more and more. There's going to be a window of 2 to 3 years. It's going to be a feeding frenzy. A feeding frenzy. So the BRRRR method requires the most hands-on work, correct? Most hands-on and less passive. No, not really. It's just you have to learn the systems to make it a bit more passive and more hands-off. You have to have more systems. All of real estate is hands-on. Passive income is truly a lie. It is. If you want to scale it, you can make this passive only in one way, having property management. So like our Boots on the Ground program, we find the properties for you. We connect you with the financing partners. We rehab them, we tenant them, and manage them. If you have somebody else doing the work like that and turnkeying it for you, then it's passive, right? Because somebody else is doing the work. But me and my team are still doing the work. It's not passive for us. It's just passive for you. Real estate is something that needs to be managed and maintained. It's like a garden, essentially. You can't just set up the garden and then just leave it. The weeds are going to grow. The bugs are going to come out. They're going to eat the plants. You have to continue to tend to the garden. So it doesn't mean you have to do the tending. So you can set up systems so that you don't have to tend to it. Somebody else will. But real estate in itself is not passive. You can just set up systems to make it passive for you. So you can make this mailbox money. And a lot of you should, because you want to spend more time with your family. You have other passions. You want to do other things. If you love real estate, though, then you become one of the lucky few. You love this game. You do it just because you're addicted to it. And it becomes a passion. You don't even want it to be passive because you enjoy it. You enjoy the activity of it. And you'll set up still systems to make it more passive. Any aspect of it that you don't like, if you don't like property management, you just get a property management company, or you hire virtual assistants and have them manage the assets for you, and then you train them into that. So you can make it more passive, long story short, but it needs to be done with kind of an active management mindset in place. And then you can just set up the systems to make it passive enough so that you can continue to scale and just break free from the 9-to-5. The good part about the BRRRR strategy and buy and hold real estate is it gets you out of the 9-to-5 like nothing I've ever seen. If your goal is to get out of the 9-to-5, you got to get into buy and hold real estate. You got to. Nothing's going to get you out like that. You ain't going to save up enough money to get out. It's not going to happen. But you can get 3-4 properties and you can get out. You can get a foot out. If you can get a foot out, you can take your mind out of the 9-to-5. Once you get mentally free, you'll become physically free. The mental freedom happens first. It's kind of like there's that movie with Jamie Foxx and Tom Cruise. I forget what it's called, where they're riding around in a taxi, and Tom Cruise is a hitman. And Jamie Foxx has a picture. He's a cab driver. He has a picture, and he opens it up, and Tom Cruise is like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I'm taking this is my vacation." Takes a mental vacation. When you get cash flow, your mind gets unplugged from the 9-to-5. You're in like a permanent mental vacation from the 9-to-5. And then it's not long before you do more and enough to get, it's called Collateral. Exactly. It's called Collateral. Really good movie. It's not long before your mind becomes free from the 9-to-5. It only takes like really one deal and your mind will become way more free, like 50% more free. 2-3 deals, now you're at like 75%. 5-10 deals, you're at 90%. You actually start to develop imposter syndrome, where you're walking around and you're like, I can't pretend to be an employee for much longer. I'm a boss. Because outside of work, you're a boss running a portfolio. Then inside of work, you're kind of deferring to somebody who's higher up than you, but you're like, I'm kind of smarter than them. Like I'm pretty sure I'm smarter than them because I got a portfolio. I'm making like $6,000 a month. And they're glued to this 9-to-5 all stressed out. I'm pretty sure I'm doing something different than them. And I'm on a different path than them. You start having imposter syndrome. You're like, man, I'm pretending to be an employee right now. And I'm really not anymore. I'm just a boss that's doing this to get more money to put more into the empire. So Baby Girl said, isn't it more difficult to be hands-on when you're not local? Absolutely. That's why you need a resource. That's why you need a resource like the Boots on the Ground program. Somebody who is local who can do it for you. You just need to tap in. That's the benefit of being around in 2024. You shouldn't be alive right now if you're not taking advantage of systems, resources, and technology. You might as well just be a dinosaur. Go back to the Stone Ages. You're a fossil. Like, you got to tap into the technology. You got to get to the next level. You have to take advantage of this stuff. It's really like one of the biggest values of being alive right now. Being alive and able-bodied and able-minded. Take advantage of what's in front of you. But you definitely have to manage. Let's see if we have any. Jubert said, yeah, your mindset is your biggest asset. It's absolutely the biggest asset. You got to feed your mindset every day because everything is constantly trying to attack your mindset. Everything's attacking your mindset. Everything's coming at you. You have to be cool and calm and collected. You have to be clear. If you're not calm, how's your whole team going to be calm? How are your contractors going to be calm? How are the lenders going to be chill if you're freaked out? So as a developer, you have to become the calm person all the time. You have to be the critical thinker to be able to navigate the problems. The better you are at that, the better you'll get overall. Guys, if you want access to any of my stuff, the Boots on the Ground program, you want to learn about that, DM me Boots on the Ground. If you want access to any of our free real estate trainings, DM me Cash Flow. DM me Cash Flow. And if you want that stress test toolkit, DM me stress test and we'll send that over. Definitely, if you're a new real estate investor, you need a stress test toolkit. You need to be able to analyze deals to tell if they're good or bad. So definitely reach out there. Hey, family, be serious, not curious. Hey, the real truth, he's the real truth, hands down. Definitely get into the game, guys. If you need mentorship, also tap into mentorship. I got into, believe it or not, guys, I got into 2 mentorship programs recently within the last month. Not cheap ones either. I got into 2 of them because I know the value of mentorship. And each one, I'm like, damn it, I should have done them sooner. I should have did it a year ago. Don't know why I waited. Thinking, oh, I think I know a little bit about that. I think I'm good. Get into the program, I'm like, damn. I was wasting time, spinning my wheels. The knowledge that people have that's hidden from you is crazy in a lot of different areas. But I would recommend just getting educated. That's not a plug for my mentorship program either. There's a lot of mentorship programs out there. Find somebody who resonates with you. But once you do, get involved, get educated, because you don't even know the opportunity that you'll miss out on a year from now by not getting educated today, by not tapping in today. You're going to miss out on the next level of opportunity. But I'm not immune from this either, right? I'm even having to tap in real estate level, but it might be marketing, it might be sales, it might be anything, right? Anything that I'm interested in. Now I'm at that point where I'm just like, I gotta tap in because I don't have time to waste. I'm so busy with you guys, helping you guys to get to the next level, that I don't even have time to waste anymore. I'm like, man, I gotta get to it. Show me the path, show me the blueprint, get me dialed in, get me to the next level. I don't have time to waste trying to figure it out anymore. And it's truly a waste of time trying to figure things out. Samuel said, how much is the program? Just reach out, DM me, boots on the ground, DM me cash flow, and we'll send it all over to you. Do you have any properties in Ohio? I don't have properties in Ohio because my favorite markets are Philly, Baltimore, Jersey, Delaware, Texas. But I do have mentees with properties in Ohio, lots of properties in Ohio, and contractors and resources. It's a reason why you should tap into the Inner Circle program. Our Inner Circle program, you can not only connect with me and do Q&A. We meet as a private group every Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But you can connect with other like-minded investors across the country, some of which are there and could help you to tap in as an out-of-state investor. So I would definitely recommend that Inner Circle program. DM me Inner Circle if you want to learn more about that program and get locked in there. Just DM me Inner Circle, and we'll get you guys tapped in. Break down, the cost, how everything works. You'll get access to the VIP course content. That course content, by the way, I swear I gave away. You got to DM me. Don't comment Inner Circle. DM me Inner Circle, so that we get it, and me and my team can send it out. DM me. But I gave away way too much game. Even as I'm tapping into some of these other mentorship programs, I'm like, it makes me think of mine. I'm like, man, I gave away everything in mine, everything. Like, there's no holdbacks in my mentorship program because I just don't believe in that, and I'm doing it from abundance mindset. I want you guys to be able to scale to the next level. So we're just doing it for different reasons. So definitely tap in. And the prices keep going up. So if you don't tap in now, and then you try to reach out 6 months from now, the price is going to be higher. I can guarantee you, because the demand keeps going up. The price gets higher. Then people are like, Brian, can I do the old price? And I'm like, you should have did the old price. You got to do the old price while it's the old price. It's not. I can't hold back these prices for you guys. Yeah, the Boots on the Ground program's up. Somebody said, how much did it go up? All I can tell you is it's up. But I have it. I'm like suppressing it. You guys, those who know, like, I want you guys to win, and I care about you guys, and I don't want everybody to be priced out. Like, I did this for us, for people who kind of came from nothing. Like, I didn't come from money. I came from nothing, right? Had to figure it all out. Working 100% commission, made $5,000-6,000 my first year working. So, I came from nothing. But if you want to get to that next level, like, you have to tap in now, because the word continues to get out. People keep reaching out. my sales team, I'm trying to tell them, look, keep the price lower. Let people in. They're like, this thing should be higher. And they're right, because I talked to some people and they're like telling me what they paid and they got no value. Like my Boots on the Ground program, the cost of that, there are people that charge 3 or 4x the cost of my Boots on the Ground program, and they don't even give you one-on-one support. Like, it's crazy. It's like a group course. They're like, here, read this book, tap into this course, good luck. And they're charging 3x, 4x the Boots on the Ground cost. Team is like, we got to up these prices, bro. And I'm just like, but I can't do but so much. But I'm letting you guys know, like, right now, this is a good time to tap in. There's a lot of value to tapping in. It's a pure value play in terms of tapping in now and getting educated and getting dialed in, tapping in the Boots on the Ground or the Inner Circle. Because you get lifetime access to the Inner Circle, and we're adding content to it every week. Every week, we're adding more content to the Inner Circle VIP course content. There are some people who are still dialed into the mentorship program who signed up 2.5 years ago. I should bring them on. And 2.5 years ago, and the amount of content that's in it now. So when they signed up, it was at one level of content, and I told them it's going to be a living and breathing thing. I'm going to keep adding to it. It's going to be more value. Fast forward 2.5 years, it's like double the course content, and they don't pay more. They're grandfathered in. So as I keep adding to it, more and more and more value. And that's what it is. How do you personally stay away from distractions on an everyday basis? Keep your mindset tight. Like, I meditate daily. I work out almost daily because that's how I stay clear-headed. I got to go and do something physically to get like that energy out. If somebody's annoying me, or, the city inspector's being annoying or whatever, I got to go do push-ups. It's like, man, I got to go do 250 push-ups. I got to get the energy out in a positive way. So I work out a lot, maybe even too much, but I meditate daily. I meditate usually twice a day, in the morning before everything comes in, and then at night to stay clear. So always focusing on the mindset. And then I do what I love all day. So I don't dial into those vices realistically. I don't go out and party. I don't do a lot. I just do the real estate. God, family, real estate, in that order. And I just keep it that way. So, and you stay away from naysayers. You stay away from negative people. You stay away from scared people. You stay away from people who don't believe. Let them go not believe by themselves. Let them go be scared by themselves. Let them go be broke with that mindset by themselves. So you got to stay tapped in and locked in. That's how I stay away from distractions, is by not being distracted. I repel the distractions. I'm not around you, and I'm doing things that people who are distractions don't want to be around. They don't want to be around somebody who's working out constantly, who's meditating constantly, and who's locked in constantly, and who's not going to party and do all these things. They don't want to be around it. It's boring to them. So I say really tunnel vision. I surround myself with you guys. You guys are part of my inner circle. I'm going to surround myself by other people who are trying to better themselves through real estate. So now I'm only surrounded by real estate talk 24/7. So I'm just locked in. I can't get unlocked, because if I try to take a break, somebody's going to beat me over the head with a text, or we got another inner circle call, or I got another mastermind call, or I got another Wednesday session, or I got another, one-on-one call, or we're doing another deal in the Boots on the Ground. So I'm just always working. Only thing I trust in this life is the work. I just trust the work. I don't give a, you guys don't understand, but I don't care about any of it. I don't care about what people talk, what they say, what they think. I trust the work. The work gets the result. And it don't matter, the work last year don't matter. It's the work right now. It's what you're planting right now is what you're going to yield. What are you planting right now? For me, I already know what I'm planting. I'm planting more knowledge into you guys. And we're going out, we're doing more. We're building more deals. We're getting more value. We're changing more families. That's what we're planting. That's the seeds. More education, more knowledge, more financial freedom. So the yield is going to be more of that. And that's what I'm about. That's what I'm going to spend my energy doing. I don't want to spend my energy doing other things. I just don't. I don't even want to vacation. I don't want to do all that. What am I vacationing from? So that's what I do. What's the best way to learn most cost of construction? Kind of to just like be around contractors. Like the best way to learn how to build and design is to have an architect buddy. An architect could also educate you on construction costs because architects are constantly building things. They're helping to run numbers, and they know cheaper ways to build versus more expensive ways to build. So having an architect that you can talk to, that you can do business with or bring business. Try to be more of value to other industry professionals, to realtors and architects. Be around them more, have more conversations. Try to be of value or have valuable conversations with your property managers. That's going to educate you more. But if you have a contractor, this is one of my major superpowers is my contractor relationships. As I got more into this game, because I love this game, people just love talking with me. They love talking about this stuff. Guys, if you're getting value and you want some of the free trainings, DM me cash flow and we'll send you the free trainings. DM me Boots on the Ground for the Boots on the Ground program. DM me Ride Along if you want to join me on August 31st for the Ride Along. And if you want my stress test toolkit, just DM me stress test. Talking to people, having a contractor around, right? I'm constantly like, as we're building houses, you guys have no idea how many videos and things are coming to me, how much content is coming to me on a daily basis. So the contractor's walking through inspecting properties for me, and we're talking back and forth. And he's like, this structural issue is this, and this has to be solved like this, and this. And the way that my mind works is I have a photographic memory. So if I see it, yeah, Monica said hit that like button. Yeah, get them likes up. Hit that like button. Like, comment, subscribe. Leave a comment that says I subscribe. And definitely DM me. Share the content also. Didn't drop that today, but share the content with somebody who you want to get value. Don't be stingy with value. Don't get free game and not share a free game. That's crazy. That's selfish. Share the content with at least one person who you want to get value. You say, hey, I think they could break free from the 9 to 5 with some of this, or if they get locked in. Because this channel, this is like hour-long live number 85. Like this channel alone could get you to the next level, but nothing beats the VIP course content and being really tapped in at that high level. But the amount of content I'm getting, right? So I'm learning because I had this photographic memory, and I'm just drinking it all in. And then I'm going back and forth with my contractor over rehab budgets and building lots of properties and why this needs to be more and how this needs to be less and how we can cut corners here and what this. And after a while, it would just click in. But what really got me there was when I was building, I was going so fast, I wasn't really tracking the numbers. So I slowed down and created a tracking system. I started tracking inventory as I was trying to program out my warehouse. And I would take the jobs and pull all the receipts because I was buying all the materials and then reverse engineer the project. Okay, all of these materials went into this project. So let's program them out. Let's itemize them one by one, like the screws, the nails, the drywall, the compound, the Sawzall blades, and just have everything. And then you can start to see how much goes into the typical project, what materials, and then you could take, if you just had the materials list and the volume of each individual line item, you could go to Lowe's.com to their website and you could punch in the SKU numbers and see the costs, and you could reverse engineer the cost of materials. And then the cost of labor is the cost of labor, how long it takes, and then how many guys you need, how many skilled guys, how many helpers, how does that move, how many skilled guys go fast. A lot of this is in the course content. If you go back into the construction crash course section, the GC school, general contractor school of the course content, you'll start to see what I'm talking about. Somebody like Roland, you're asking this question. You've done enough deals you should actually revisit that section, and it's going to click deeper than probably when you watched it the first time, because you have a different level of experience. So as you go back through the course, this course, I'm trying to tell you guys, it's like a good movie. You could watch the same section 4 times. You're going to see something different. You're going to learn something different, because there's layers of the knowledge that I'm giving you, and you can't pick up all the layers from the ground level. As you keep climbing higher, more is going to sink in. More is going to sink in. You guys ever learn a new word, and then you're watching TV and you keep hearing that word that you learn? It's really like that. Real estate can be like that. As you start learning more, you start seeing it more. And you're like, was that happening already? Yeah, it was. It was just going over your head. So you'll start to see the speed of the construction and the different jobs, but you'll know the general cost of flooring, drywall, rough ends of the mechanic lines, structural issues. Like, I know if I go into a property and my guy's like, the joists are jacked up, I already know what we can do. I already know, all right, we got to put in about 10 joists. Okay, cool. I already know the process. They're going to cut them out. We got to order them. I was telling GB earlier today, I was telling somebody else. I was telling Fernando, if he's watching this, he just got a deal out in West Philly through the Boots on the Ground program. And we were talking, he's like, what's next? And I'm like, look, we got to do some rejoicing of the property. Now, there might be like a 3-day, 4-day gap where they were supposed to show up with the joist on Tuesday. They showed up on Friday, and it pushes us back a week. I'm trying to break down the game to him, how this thing really moves, because it's like everything's not in your control, even as a builder, because I already know where the bottlenecks are going to come from, because I've done this so many times. Some people yell at the contractor, why didn't you get it done yet? Because they said they would have it here on Tuesday. They didn't get it here. So you got to know the game. You don't even know the game well enough to yell at your contractors, a lot of us. But you'll start to learn it by reverse engineering it. Build one deal, but pay attention. This is why I'm telling you guys, start small and then scale up from there. That's the easiest way. Start small and then scale up. Don't try to start too big. Don't try to go out and do a 30-unit building. You don't know what you're doing yet. But if you pay attention on that one single family, you can now scale up to the next level. It's going to put you in a better position. So you'll learn it. I think, Roland, you've done enough deals where if you take the time to step out of working in the business, those two angles, working on the business, working in the business, if you step out of working in the business and just take some time to look at what your costs were on all of your projects that you've done like 10 deals now. If you look at the cost on all of your projects, I bet you could come up with a template for almost every project you touch moving forward. And then if you just keep asking the right questions, everything will get answered. Anything you don't know, talk to the contractor about it. Get on the phone with them. Hey, man, so what are we looking at if we just blow up this bathroom? What are we looking at if we just flip the kitchen over here? We got to move the stack line, but it's already in. That's only, the PVC is that's only going to cost us XYZ. How's that going to work? How many days is that going to take? The plumber's only getting like $300 a day, right? Does he have a helper? He's got to be paying him like $120 a day, right? Start asking people questions. Start talking to them. Start speaking their language. And then they're going to, oh, this guy's got a little passion for it. Yeah, he's paying him like $120 a day, about $300 a day. It'll take them about 2 days. They just got to move the stack over, tap right into the main, and then they're just going to run it straight up the wall. They ain't going to take them no time. Then you're like, oh, now you have your answer. And you just keep accumulating answers over the course of time. And it's really that fine-tooth knowledge that will separate you. That's why when I go into a show, I'm like a kid in a candy shop, because I've seen it all, but I've been paying attention. There was a time when I wasn't paying attention. It was still happening. I just wasn't paying attention. So you could build 50 houses and not know how to build a house. You could have done 50 deals and have no idea how that house was put together because you weren't paying attention. You were so worried about cash flow or some other aspect of it. But when you become obsessed with the build, you can learn from one deal. with proper obsession. Just one house, one gut job. You can learn everything you need to know to go out and do 100 of them, without losing your shirt. Rolling, getting your own property and learn from the GC. Yeah, learn from the GC. What if you're a 1099 employee? Can you qualify for Boots on the Ground program? Definitely. Because the lenders, like we have the 100% lenders. I actually got on a phone call with a lender he's kind of like the second or third 100%. He's the third 100% lender that I found. And the guy's like, we kind of hit it off on the call. We both ended the call like, damn, this is the best conversation we had about real estate in years. Like we're, two Philly guys talking Philly real estate. We were getting into the weeds on Section 8 and different topics. We were having too much fun. We were like, man, we got to get back to our kids. We got to get back to our businesses. We were having too much fun, way too much fun. But that relationship is here for you guys. So for those who are tapped in the Boots on the Ground, I'm building a lot of these relationships. I'm doing a lot of these things so that you guys can piggyback off of them. When these lenders know that I'm standing behind you, they know it's not you doing a deal. It's us doing a deal. You're doing a deal piggybacking off of all my experience. They know the house is going to get built. They know that I'm going to stand there with you to refinance out of the deal at the end. I'm not just going to leave you there. Like they know all these things. So they're like, it's not just doing a deal with you. They're doing a deal with me and you in that way where I'm watching your back. You're not like alone. So it gives a lender more confidence, right? To know that somebody with more experience is standing behind you to support you on all aspects of it. Tenanting, rehab, deal analysis, acquisitions, negotiations, permits, pushing inspectors, dealing with hiccups and bottlenecks, because anything can happen in this game. And then education, strategy, exit strategies. They love it. So it's good. But even if you're a 1099 employee, if some lenders wouldn't take you, the lenders that we're building the relationships with will take you because holistically they like what we're doing. And they know that we're building good housing for communities, for affordable housing for young families. So they're bought into that mission too. But definitely 1099, you can do it. You just want to make sure your credit is decent. You really, in this game, you got to have at least like a 620 in this game. If you're going to start engaging with lenders, things like the Boots on the Ground program, you want to have like at least a 620. You want to be closer to like a 680. And if you're not there, hack your way there. I got videos on the YouTube channel that'll show you how to hack your way up to like a 680. Get up to a 680 and you'll be in the ball game. You don't need to really be much better than that. Guys, if you're getting value, like, comment, subscribe, share the content with somebody else who you want to get value. And if you want access to any of my free real estate trainings, leave a comment that says I subscribe or DM me cash flow and you'll get locked in. Hey, Brian, I am far away. How do we learn from a GC on a build? I'm not in Philly. I mean, if you're far away, it's still the same thing. Pay attention. So for my clients in the Boots on the Ground program, we send you guys daily videos of the rehab and you have the exact rehab budget. You pretty much can see everything. If I'm sending you a daily video of the rehab every day, and that rehab takes 10 to 12 weeks, and at the end of that 10 to 12 weeks, you have 10 to 12 weeks worth of videos listed by the day that you can go back through and watch, then go back through and watch the videos. Go back through and watch the videos. Take on the weekend, don't go out, don't go hang out, don't watch the game, go watch the videos. Watch them on 2x speed. And you'll see how long it took to put the flooring down. It took to do the drywall. You'll see how long. And then you have the numbers on the rehab budget on what the guys got paid to do it. That's the whole game. And you have the deal analysis report on your own deal. And you have the appraisal on your deal. And you dealt with the lender. That's the whole game. So even in your underwear, at your kitchen table, across the country, we're building houses for people, by the way, that aren't even in the country. Forget being across the country. They're not even here. That's giving you the whole game right there. So you can learn it just from the Boots on the Ground program. That's without the course content, and you're going to have the VIP course content that drills it in you like a mile deep in terms of that, in terms of the knowledge. So you'll definitely learn. You definitely learn the process. You don't need to be there, but you need to pay attention, and you need to have the systems in place to pay attention. Think about it. Even if I wasn't there and there was no Boots on the Ground program, do you think a guy like me wouldn't find a college kid in Cleveland and pay him $20, beer money in college, $20 per site visit? I'll have their ass at the property 3 days a week, round robin. I'm going to pay them, but my knowledge is going to increase 1,000-fold. So I will burn that G for the knowledge and for the visibility. But a lot of others won't do that. It's penny wise, pound foolish. But I'll burn that money for that knowledge. And then once I have that knowledge, now I can do it over and over and over again. How much money can I make off of that knowledge? Certainly more than $1,000 in this game. It's $1 trillion industry, which means a crumb is $1 million. A crumb. You think this game cares that you make $1 million? Seriously though, you have to ask yourself these questions. Does the real estate game, $1 trillion industry, care if I make $1 million? It doesn't. Nobody's going to jump in your way and stop you. Nobody cares. Nobody's here to hold you back. Now your manager cares if you get a raise and make more money than them. They do care. They care a lot. Their ego is completely tied to that. This game could care less if you make $1 million. That's why you want to play this game and not that game. Let's get to some more questions. Can your program help me learn investing in Texas? Definitely, because I've invested from New York in Texas remotely. So if you're in Texas, yes, I can show you how to invest in Texas. Absolutely. I can show you not only how to invest in Texas, I'm going to show you how to invest anywhere in the country where there's value. That's really what you want to learn today. That's the value of being alive today, is learning how to invest anywhere in the country where there's value. Because if Texas dries up, the real developers, they pack up their bag, strap that on their back, and they go to the next market with value. They don't stay stuck. So yes, not only can it help you in Texas, and Texas definitely is a market that has opportunity. In fact, we do like San Antonio. We have people in the Inner Circle program who are tapped into the San Antonio market pretty heavily, and they're about. Houston's good. Dallas is maybe a little overpriced. I would say San Antonio might be like the most up and coming, but there's also like just other markets. There's just other markets in Texas. I won't get all the way into all the markets, but Dallas, Fort Worth type of area, there's definitely some opportunity. There's definitely some deals that are sitting right there. So definitely, tap in, reach out, DM me, text me, email me, DM me cash flow. We'll get you guys locked in. But there's definitely a lot of opportunity there, in my opinion, a lot of opportunity. So we can use the lenders later for personal deals. Yes. The only thing you can't steal in the Boots on the Ground program is the contractors. You can't poach my contractors, guys. And I've had people try, and they just call me. They're like, Brian, we got another one. They tried to tap in, and they tried to poach us, and then they just get kicked out of the Boots on the Ground program. Is what'll happen. But the lenders, the architects, the engineers, all those relationships, they're yours to keep. I want the lenders to win. This is why the lenders love me, because they're like, man, Brian brings us people. These are he educates them, and then the relationships that they can keep for the rest of their life. You guys keep each other. Those are your relationships. I don't get kickbacks from lenders. I don't negotiate all that stuff. I don't take kickbacks from these professionals because I want my integrity to be with you guys. So the lending relationship is yours to keep. And if you don't like the lender, I'll give you another one. I don't have any loyalty to them in that sense. I'm here to help you. But if connecting you with a great lender helps you, then I'm down for that too. I'm down for that too. But they're definitely relationships that you can use later for your own deals anywhere in the country. And these are national lenders, so definitely good opportunities. Jay, after working with your lenders on the first couple deals, would tax returns be necessary in the future to scale? I would say it depends. It depends on the relationship that you build with the lender, and then the kind of the time, right? Like sometimes the lenders get squeamish. Like I was talking to one lender, and he was just he was kind of still like mentally in 2020, and he was like, the shutdowns killed me. Like everybody, it was a bloodbath. Like when he was talking about it, I could tell he was still there emotionally, and he's still kind of conservative because of it. Like he hasn't let it go. And as we kept talking more, he's like, "No, you're right. Like rates are going down. The market is a lot better. The other lenders are getting more comfortable." Like I could tell he had this rational side and this emotional side to it. And I didn't blame him. I was like, "Yo, I feel you, bro. Like it was a bloodbath." I was telling him some of my war stories from it, and we were kind of connected on that. But it depends on the market sentiment, is why I'm telling you this. Because if the market sentiment is really lax, like after the election, when things calm down and there's more certainty in the market, the lenders are going to be calmer. And they might be like, don't worry about that. We got you. They might not even pull your credit once every 6 months, But then if the market tightens, then they might change. They might be like, look, market's a little tight. It's hard. Money's hard to come by. I'm going to need to see them returns. So you just, you kind of see how it goes. But there are lenders out there like no doc lenders who don't even look at all that. And one of these 100% lenders that I'm working with, they're more on that spectrum where they're like, they underwrite the person, but they're not really worried about all that. They like the deal. Let me see the deal. Are the numbers good? And they're smart enough to underwrite deals versus people and like big picture things. I don't even think they have a credit score minimum, actually. They'll just let you rock. You could have like a 580 and they're just like, are you flipping it? Yeah. All right, cool. So that's what I'll say there. Roland said, thanks, Brian. I'll review the courses, deals, and make my spreadsheet and calls. Definitely spreadsheet. You got to do your back testing. You got to grab your data. You got to do your spreadsheeting because your numbers are right there. If you've been building houses, you have the data. You just have to compile it. They said Michael, somebody must have asked Roland. He said, at Michael, we start and grow. Absolutely. As you're scaling your way up to the next level, being around other like-minded investors who are doing it and the questions they're asking, or they might have resources in the city that you want to invest in. They might have the contractors, the architects, and different things. You want to be around people like that. A lot of us don't have an inner circle. A lot of us, our inner circle is our uncle who ain't never do nothing, our aunt who ain't never do nothing. That's your inner circle. All they got for you is fear and naysaying. If that's your inner circle, where do you think you're going to end up? How are you going to get ahead with that type of inner circle? So you need to change your circle, change the people you're around, start networking with people who are moving and shaking and making things happen and aren't stuck in fear-based mindsets, and you're going to get a better result. So, that's kind of that. For the boots on the ground, do you need a higher credit score to join? If you want to start off with just buy and sell, no rehab, just double close and use a transactional lender. I think you still want to, if you get in this game, you want to have like a 620 just for flexibility. Like you might be trying to buy and sell, but like I was talking about earlier, you want to be able to run your numbers and have multiple exit strategies. One of those exit strategies is going to be, if the property won't sell for what I thought it would sell for, can I hold it and cash flow it? And in order to do that, you're going to need something, right? A little bit of a credit score. So I would still want like a 620 or to be around there before I start engaging heavily in this game. But once you get there, go for it. Go for it. If you're going to do an FHA house hack as well, 620. 620 is not hard. Even if you're at a 5 something, you can get, I'm telling you, you can hack your way up to a 620. You can hack your way, like you could do a rapid rescore. I have videos on this stuff. I have stuff in our course content as well. Credit related that will help you to get your score up quickly, like in 30 days. Like, let's get your credit score up into that range. And then once you're there, you can then start to monitor it and get it to stay there. Because credit is always fluctuating. It's either going up or down. It's never really staying the same. And even if you have good credit, then you're just worried about it. Like, when you have bad credit, you're not worried about it, right? Because your credit's just bad. Like, no, it's got bad credit. You really don't think about it like that. When you have a really good credit score, now you're constantly worried about it and monitoring it because you're worried it's going to take a hit. So credit is just constantly about monitoring it and staying on top of the game. And then I'm going to answer one more YouTube question. I'll get back to the IG. Guys, if you have any questions in the IG, drop them in the chat section. If you want access to the free real estate trainings, DM me cash flow. I'll send that over to you guys. Nicole, I'm going to see you on that ride along. Nicole tapped into the ride along. Don't think I forgot. We're going to keep this ride along small too, so that I can spend a lot of time with the people who are there. It's really important when we get that time together in person that we give you that next level of education. What's the average turnaround time for buy and sell properties? Depends on the location, of course. So usually when you're flipping, you want to be in a market or in a zip code that kind of the properties will typically sell in 30 to 45 days. So I would say average rehab, heavy cosmetic, probably 10 to 12 weeks. And then you want to allow like 30 to 45 days for the property to sell, could sell faster. So that gives you like a 6-month window. Buy it, rehab it, list it, get it sold. That's like a 6-month turn. And if you create a pipeline of those, you can do a lot of those. Mike Morgan, he said, send me the date for that ride along. The ride along is Saturday, August 31st. Saturday, August 31st, Philadelphia. We meet in Center City. Tap in. It's going to be amazing. We're working on some amazing projects. We got more co-living, multifamily projects. We got a couple flips, a bunch of buy and holds. We have full gut renovations, cosmetics, all over the city. And we're going to show you guys all the hot spots, how to invest. You're going to get your 24/7 cash flow hoodie. I don't know what color. You guys got to DM me if you have like color preferences. But we had the black, the gray. This is the navy blue. We might get a red one or something like that. But I got a lot of West Coasters on here. I might not want to get y'all that red blue for out there. But yeah, we'll get you guys some gear. Maybe we'll get like a white one, an all white 24/7 cash flow, a white and gold. That would be pretty cool. But August 31st, Saturday, August 31st. Definitely tap into that real estate ride along. Right now, the tickets are on pre-order. They're on pre-sale, but they're probably going to sell out again. So if you get like if you're sitting on the sidelines thinking you're going to pop up in August, like, oh, let me get that ticket, they're going to be sold out. So definitely reach out right now. DM me ride along. If you want to learn more about the ride along and how to tap in, where to get your tickets, DM me ride along. Or if you're on the YouTube, text me ride along. And we'll get you guys tapped in. Jay going to tap in as well from out of the country. He's probably going to take a flight in. The white hoodie, I think we're going to do the white hoodies because I want the hoodie. So I keep the leftovers. If there's like a really huge turnout, which usually there is, the turnouts will be getting bigger and bigger every one. We might even have to get 2 tour buses for this one. But I want the white hoodie. And I got to get my little guys some of the little guy hoodies as well for the kiddos. Yeah, Nicole, we will see you on the ride along. Could you give me a walkthrough on how you would start in wholesaling if you were just beginning with the knowledge you have? That's like a whole nother session. But we have videos on wholesaling. Stay tapped in, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and stay locked in on the YouTube channel. But I would start off with learning about, I will give you this nugget. I would start learning about creative financing, how to invest without cash or credit, lease purchase options, sandwich lease options, subject 2, subject 3. I haven't really dropped the subject 3 on you guys. I should add a subject 3 section to the course content. And I'll do that maybe sometime in the next couple of months. I'll drop that into the course. subject 3, and land contracts. I would focus on kind of those core strategies, especially at your age. Wholesaling is just the basic. Creative financing is the advanced level of that. And there's really a way to invest without cash or credit. It's crazy. A lot of people never learn it. When I first started learning it, I actually got exposed to it at a Robert Kiyosaki conference. It went right over my head. I was shocked. It went right over my head. I came back to it 5-6 years later. I was like, oh, I thought they were lying to me. Like I really did. It went right over my head. But it's real. You can absolutely invest. You just need the right knowledge. We have a section of the course that breaks that down in great detail. All of the strategies, everything you need to know, and how to get in front of motivated sellers. So that is one of the core skill sets that you would need to learn if you want to get to the next level. What kind of investments are you doing more of in Texas? Fix and flip, buying holes? Do you wholesale them? I focus in Texas on more of like a co-living strategy. Texas has amazing co-living rules where you can almost do unlimited co-living. You can add high bed bath counts to your property, and you can really increase the cash flow. And there's very few people doing that because they don't really know how to do it correctly. So if you start doing that in a market like Texas, you can make a lot of money because the properties appreciate fast out there. And there's good landlord-tenant laws. There's like a lot going for a market like Texas, but some of the markets are a little bit oversaturated. Daryl just said creative financing is the truth. Daryl knows because he's trying to creatively finance like a $2 million deal right now. We've been talking about it on and off all day. And he's in an inner circle. He's somebody you guys can network with if you tap into the inner circle program. And I would recommend that. Anybody who, if you guys had the chance to just network with these inner circle members, I mean, that alone would take you to the next level. Not even factoring me into the situation, which is also going to just throw it over the top. And then the course content, but just being around the other investors and seeing like they're actually doing this stuff and getting results. And not just little results, like massive results, and scaling up and are crossing over that 10 property mark, that's like the barrier between imposter syndrome and starting to, I would say when you have 10 properties, you still feel like you're not there, but you actually are there. You just don't realize it yet. There we go. So guys, hope that helped. If you got value, share the content with somebody who you want to see win in this game. Keep your mindset locked in. If you want to get a hold of me and learn more about our programs, Boots on the Ground, the Inner Circle program, the Ride Along, just DM me. DM me any of those things. Inner Circle, DM me Ride Along, DM me Boots on the Ground. If you want the free training, just DM me Cash Flow. We'll send the free training right over to you. Like, comment, subscribe, stay locked in, and understand winter is coming. Interest rates are going down. If you don't wake up, you ain't going to say, I ain't tell you. Because I told you, if you come back 6 months later and you want to get started 6 months later, prices will be higher on the real estate and on the mentorship. So the best time to get in is now. The best time to lock in was yesterday. Because when this wave comes, the players are going to they're going to grab 10, 20 cribs. I'm telling you, especially in the top 10 cash flow cities. There's going to be more opportunity on the West Coast as well. But in the top 10 cash flow cities, oh my goodness. The feeding frenzy, you guys are going to kick yourselves. So stay locked in, stay tapped in, trust the game, and it will reward the players. Brian Grimes, your real estate mentor.